Good morning, everyone. Straight out of bed straight to this video to make. Today was an addict here. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers across the country, across the world. I want to explain my experience for this day and how it's a hard day for me. It really is. I am a mother myself, and I still have a mother that still is here on earth, and I appreciate her so much. I gave so many years with so much anger towards her. I'm glad I made amends and got to spend time with her in the way I feel now. So she's super proud of me and my recovery, and I would have probably put her through a lot of hurt, throughout my years. Okay, so let's start. So I had a mum and dad left, and mum turned to religion, Jehovah's Witness, in fact, which now is understandable, but back then it was very, very hard for me to lose dad and then have a mum that didn't celebrate Mother's Day. It made me feel like I wasn't wanted. And at school was extremely hard. I went from having a normal life to everything ripped away from under my feet. And I think I was about 5, but they reckon I was maybe 7. So, so when I got older, I definitely was angry, and I treated my mother like shit, and I put her through a lot, and I hated her, and I didn't care if she died. My life got sucked in by addiction, and all my pain I turned to mask it. I didn't want to face it. I didn't feel like I was meant to be here. I didn't feel like I had a mum and dad. I just felt that, I didn't understand it back then when I turned 16 and I started to drink. I didn't understand it, like I do now. And then I had a son, and I was a shitty mum. And people say, no, don't say that. You're not a shitty mum. I was a shitty mum. Addicts are shitty mums, because, don't get it wrong, but they are. Especially if you're a shitty mum and an addict like I was. I didn't put my son first, I didn't treat him the way I should have treated him, I definitely wasn't a mother figure. I fell pregnant, and I didn't find out I was pregnant until I was 5 months pregnant, and I used 5 months straight to get rid of him, and he survived. And when I found out, it was too late to do anything about it, so I had him, and I went into like a little bit of a mum mode, but I struggled to be a mum. I don't know why. But, and Mum was saying it the other day, my dad, he didn't want kids, and he didn't want me, and I think it had that effect on me, and I guess not having a dad, and a mum that I had a mum, she treated me well, but what she put me through fucked my life, the religion really, and other stuff that I remember, but it really messed with my head, so I didn't know how to be a mum, my mum and sister raised my son for the first 2 years, and if you're watching, Ty, I do love you a lot, and it's really hard to live now in recovery and see how much I fucked up and how much I want to go back and start again and give you a super life, it's, if I could change my past, I would, and I'd start fresh. It's hard. He still loves me, and it mind blows me, So they raised him, and I was in and out of relationships. And I just I didn't know how to connect. And, you know, this makes sense because I didn't know how to connect with anything, not just being a mum, but just with anything. You know, I was different. I wasn't alive. I didn't have a heart, and I honestly didn't have a heart. I was trying to find my way out to not be here because I am not human. I'm not a part of this world, you know. I didn't understand myself for so long, and now the person that I understand is amazing. But I wish I had this. And I don't know, as I went through my years, you know, I've had the boyfriend that's abused me, and like I've went through a lot after my childhood as well, and it's just added, and I guess they just pushed me down until I completely lost myself, you know, and I consumed my whole entire life with using. And I didn't even know I was an addict for a long, long time until recently when I gave up. And I went past that 6 months, because I usually make it 6 months and go back to it. I thought, fuck, I can't stop using. I can't stop drinking. I'm an addict. Like, what the fuck, you know? And I didn't get diagnosed with depression until I was married, you know. I was married in 2011. But I put my son through a lot, you know. I didn't look after him. I was late to school. I didn't give a fuck if I was driving over the speed limit. I drove up in a ute and a Chrysler, and I thought I was the best mum because I was drunk all the time, and I was out there, and I was stupid, you know, but I was shitty. I wouldn't even wake up and feed him, you know, and that's not nice, you know. And what really hits me now is that I've got a pet, and I've never felt love like this before, ever. And he wakes me up, and I feed him without getting angry. I couldn't even do that to my son. You know, and I know it's the addiction that done it, but it still fucking hurts. You know, this little child was dragged through the dirt, and he still loves me to this day, you know, and that's just blows my mind. And I hope it doesn't all come to him when he gets older and he just completely fucking breaks down like me and turns into an addict, you know. I'm very real with him now. Like, I know I love him and I accept him now, but it took me so long to be okay with that. To say, yeah, I've got a son, you know. And I used to call him bro. I couldn't even call him son, you know. And today he messaged me, and it just broke me because so many years I suffered without a mum. So many years he spent alone without a mum, and especially on these days, you know. You know, I can't take back the time, and I can't dwell on it, and I can't change it. You know, I can sit with it today and let the tears out, because that's what makes you heal. And just let him know, like, I'm not really good at calling him yet, you know. I don't know how to talk to people, and especially my own son. You know, I've got a lot of guilt about me. But I just sent back, I appreciate you, son, you know, and I never used to call him son. It used to be bro. I looked at him as my little bro. I cared about him as my little bro. But I never wanted to accept that I was a mum, you know. And I was so angry that my dad didn't want me. And then it almost feels like I did the same thing to my son. And when I come out of recovery and I started to heal and look back, like the last 3 years as Mother's Days, I guess they've been hard. I'm going to look back because I write everything. And I'm doing my book at the moment. And today I'm going to spend it a little bit different from all the other times, because I never allow myself to cry ever, because I just feel like I'm losing, you know. And today I will spend, you know, I was meant to do a job today, and I'm glad I don't have to, because I really need to just meditate today and just spend it with me and just let it out, let it out. I fucked up. I was shitty, and people say, you're not a shitty mum. I was fucking shitty, Every addict is shitty, Some of them are functioning addicts and they can look after their kids, but I was not. I was not. I didn't give a fuck. And he still loves me, and that's what gets me really in my heart, And I've never felt emotions so deep in the last couple of years. I've really let myself go through that healing, and I guess this year is the hardest. It feels like it's getting harder and harder, but it's not. It's just those other years I've kind of hidden it, but today is a day I'll spend, and I'll spend it thinking of him and wishing I was there. I am planning a holiday to go and see him. I was going to go overseas for a business meeting, but my anxiety is shit. It's really bad. I hope to one day go, but take someone with me so it's not, people don't understand how my anxiety is. And I hope my son doesn't get it. Like, it's fucking terrible. But instead of going over there, I'm going to go and see him and stay down there and visit him. Put the effort in, He's been living in Sydney for 5 years and I've not once driven down there to see him. Only to go and pick him up, to bring him up, because my sister would always want to see him, but I didn't, because I was partying, and even when he was here, I'd go and party, and like, the feelings he must feel inside is just terrible. It's really terrible. I don't know how it feels not to have a father, and it hurts, and like I'm there, but I'm not there, you know what I mean? And and he sees that addiction. He knows that I'm an addict, and he's seen the toll it's taken, and he sees my growth, and he says he's proud of me. This is my son. I should be saying the opposite. He says he's proud of me, and I just really hope that he can heal, and I haven't destroyed his growth. He was born an addict. And he's very strong. For him to survive what he went through when he was being made inside is amazing. And I'm thankful to have him, and I fucking love him to death. And I feel the warmth in my heart I have now, like I've never had before. And every time I see him in this recovery is just getting better and better and better, I know those first couple of years when I was first recovering, I saw him, it was so uncomfortable because I didn't know how to be me and how to be a mum. And I remember someone saying, just be yourself. And I'm like, but he doesn't know, like I'm not myself anymore. Like, I'm this recovering addict. I'm completely different. Do you know what I mean? And I'll spend time with him and I'd take him out, and it was just like, fuck, I threw so much away for a dirty addiction, and so much suffering I went through. I wish I knew better, and we don't know better. We all choose to numb, and we all think it's okay, and it becomes a problem. And it did, I started at 16 and it was just a weekend thing, and then it was, a bit more and a bit more, and then I'd dab into this and I'd dab into that. And before I know it, 17 years went past, and I didn't know I was an addict. I wouldn't even call myself an addict. I'm like, I'm not a fucking addict. I can give up for 6 months. I'm sweet. But the day I tried to go past 6 months for the very first time was the day I realised, hey, man, I've got a problem. And the 3 years I craved the drug, I thought, wow, I don't know if you are out there listening and feel the same, like you're not an addict. And I guess a lot of addicts try and say they're not an addict because they're not, but I honestly didn't know, because I could give up and I could go back, And it just started to build, and I started to add everything. And towards the end, I realized there was something going on, because I was trying to drink myself to death. You know, I was trying to leave this world. I've been trying to leave this world for so fucking long, and I'm glad that I've got the chance to see the world as it is now. I'm glad I got to see my mum the way I am now and to make amends. I'm glad I got to make amends with my son, and give him my love that he's always wanted and he's always needed, you know. He's 16 now, he's got a full-time job, so now he's not going to see me in the holidays and that, and it hurts, but I know that I got to let him be. And he's got a girlfriend now, and just, I missed all those years, but I'm alive. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm here. I'm recovered. There's not a drink or a pipe in my mind isn't like I'm suffering today, I need a drink. Like, there's no mind of that anymore. Like, I've built a fucking mansion right now. My house is my mansion, you know. I've built so much, you know. I'm a business owner, you know, a business owner. I'm a mum. I'm finally a mum, you know. And I just appreciate everything. I really do. And if you're listening out there, some of us lose our kids because drugs take them away or whatever else, but over time it does get better. But sit with the feeling. Put yourself in their shoes when you're an addict. You know, really go into an intense feeling of their feeling. You know, that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm scared today, because I'm going to sit in his shoes as the person I was, and it's going to fucking destroy me. But I need to get through this, so I know, you know, because I'm an addict and I can still go back, that I know that this is not going to break me. You know, I'm going to get to the end of the day and be thankful that I sat there and took every moment in, you know. And my first text in the morning was from my son saying, Happy Mother's Day. And he can't wait to see me. And that's awesome. And if you're watching, son, as he started to find out why I gave him away, you know, I gave him away when he was 8. I want to end with this. I gave him away when he was 8 because he deserved better. He didn't deserve the life and the trauma I was putting him through. He deserved a breakfast in the morning instead of a chip because I was asleep and I'd yell at him. You know, he deserved a better mum, right? And I did the biggest thing anyone could possibly do, is give their own son up, not lose their son to addiction, but give their own son up to get them a better life. And he is the way he is because of his dad. And I thank his dad so much. And if his dad's watching, I thank him so much. I can't even talk to his dad. And there's no unsettlement where we had a break up and, you know, I fucking hate you, blah, blah, blah. I'm taking the kid, blah, blah, blah. I just can't talk to him because I don't know how to talk to people. I'm learning, but I don't know how to talk to him. And I do want to ring him up and say, hey, Maddie, like, fucking, thanks for doing what you did, man, you know? I was giving him that day, and I was planning to leave this world. You know, I gave him to him. I said, can you take him, you know, half, and then it just pushed to full. And I tried to go so many times, but I kept waking up. But I just want everyone to know that if you are in addiction and that, give them a better life, you know, because it works out for them. You know, if he stayed with me the whole entire time, I don't think he'd be the person he is today. You know, he's a strong boy. You know, he's seen a lot. He's seen me, you know, in some serious states. He's seen me with a rope in my hand. He saved me once from killing myself, and I hated it, you know. And he'd say, Mummy, remember I saved you that day? But he didn't know as a little child that I fucking hated it, you know. But he didn't see the person that was dying inside, you know. He was just a little kid. So I gave him to his dad, and he's a full-time worker now. He's got a girlfriend, and he's a great kid. And I stopped him from seeing what he saw, you know. I wouldn't even give him breakfast in the morning. Like, he deserves breakfast, you know. He deserves dinner. He doesn't deserve to be yelled at. Go away, I'm in my room sleeping because I'm getting high, or I'm out of it, or whatever, you know. You know, I lost our dog. Our dog got run over because I was getting high and I was late to school. And then I thought he was gone. And then my dog got run over right outside the school. Well, his dog. It was traumatic. That's what addiction does. And your children suffer, you know. And I did a big thing to give him to his dad. I know what I felt and what I went through. And I didn't want him to experience it, you know. Anyway, guys, it's been a long video, but I had to share that. And mamas, stay strong. And if you don't see your kids, just sit there with some photos and just really go into deep thought and just imagine that you're with them today. And what would you do if you had them with you? And whatever you're going to do with them, if you had them, go and do it with you and just take it in, you know. Just be with the thought. They do come around. Well, most of them come around. And you do get better, you know, you get better and you start to grow, and they'll see that. And if they never talk to you again, addiction, right? Don't do it. Don't do addiction. Don't mask your pain, because everyone around you suffers, you know, everyone did, you know. And I've got the chance to get clean and show them the person I truly am, you know, and come out of this darkness I've had for my entire life. And I got a chance to really, you know, look at myself and see the Bella that I've been hiding, you know. Anyway, guys, was an addict. I love you heaps, guys, and I had to make this video. I'm about to do my morning routine, and then I did have a sleep in, and it was awesome because my first message was my son, and that just fucking made my day. So, all right, I love you guys.